All my life I've had to fight. All my life hardships like yeah, bad trips like yeah. And that's it. I messed up, homie, you messed up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright.
Do you hear me? Can you feel me? We gon' be alright.
We gon' be alright. Hi, we gon' be alright.
Do you hear me? Can you feel me?
We gon' be alright. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Marquis.
And this is one of your favorite Taylor.
Welcome back to the You Stuck With Me podcast.
You stuck with me.
But everybody, this is your first time listening. Welcome. Beautiful, how do you feel today?
I feel good today. I feel good today.
Hey, I like that song. I feel good too. And I'm gonna tell you why we feel good. It's Juneteenth.
Hey, turn up.
Y'all, I'm so happy about the fact that we have Juneteenth. This is a time to celebrate us as African Americans.
And this is the second year Juneteenth is being observed on a federal level.
Yes, thank you, because African Americans in this country have been severely overlooked and severely mistreated.
And you know what else? This is the first time I can actually be off work to celebrate Juneteenth.
Turn up.
Man.
Which is what we're actually going to do today later on after this episode.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people do not know about Juneteenth because obviously it's a new federal year. Some people just think that it just became something that's made up.
Or another day off.
Yeah, but there's some historical significance behind Juneteenth.
All right, babe, so you want to be Mr. Google and give us the background story on Juneteenth?
Okay, so the background story on Juneteenth is this. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865 to some 2,000, when 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas, letting Texas slaves know that they were free. And the crazy thing about it is we never knew how many slaves at that point knew that they didn't know that they were free. Come to find out it was around 250,000.
That's one too many.
Yeah, according to the Smithsonian Institute. Imagine the rest of the country knew that they were free, and you were the only state that didn't know.
I'm not surprised because look, we had the Emancipation Proclamation.
Mm-hmm.
And no, let me backtrack. The best example I use of that is women's voting rights. Why is it that women have the right to vote once, everything cleared, but African American women still were being treated like they couldn't vote or their opinions didn't matter?
Questions that need answers. But Juneteenth is very important. It's not like I didn't already have a reason to be proud as a black person, but I feel even more proud knowing that the struggles that our people have gone through in the last 400 years.
I mean, this is like our Independence Day.
That's pretty much what it is, because even when July 4th came around and America got their independence from the British, we weren't free.
That's true. But before we get a little bit more into this, let's just say these are our views and opinions of Taylor and Marquis. This is not the opinions or reviews of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you disagree with what we say, that's fine. If you agree with what we say, that's fine
too.
But we just want to put it out there. We're not pushing no agenda. We're just sharing our opinions and views of Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm. So let me break you guys down with some facts about Juneteenth.
Facts from facts.
I saw what you did there.
I made it funny.
It is the oldest known holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. That's big. Juneteenth is the title of a book by author Ralph Ellison. That's something I didn't know.
I never knew that.
Some cities and groups have Miss Juneteenth contests.
Oh.
I would like to find out more about that.
I actually want to see one.
Yeah, what cities do have that?
Yeah.
Strawberry soda pop was once a popular drink of soda was celebrating the day Juneteenth.
Strawberry?
That's interesting.
Maybe we need to incorporate that.
Yeah, start on our way out to go get some strawberry pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. And the last thing the last fact that I want to introduce and give flowers to this very vocal and beautiful lady by the name of Opal Lee.
Opal Lee?
Yes, yes, she is considered the grandmother of Juneteenth. Currently at the age of 96.
That's a blessing.
Yes, she's lived a very fruitful and.
But she's still living, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
I'm saying, as she's still.
Oh, because it kind of made it sound like she went on to be with the Lord. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, but after 96 years, I say you lived a long, fruitful life.
Yeah.
So she's considered the grandmother of Juneteenth, and to this day, she is still marching for civil rights and everything.
That's what's up.
So we want to give her flowers for everything that she's done. She's up until recently, I'm pretty sure she was considered one of the people who you wouldn't know at the forefront of civil rights movement and things like that, i.e. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X. But it doesn't negate the importance of what she's done to the African American community.
And also, I feel like I'm happy about Juneteenth actually being observed because it gives another African American holiday where we learn about our history. Because, yes, we have Black History Month. But as I told you before, it just seemed like we hear about the same heroes every year. That's not to discredit what they've done for us, but they're like unsung heroes out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, what's his name? Louis G. Latimer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his name, right? Yeah. He created the filament for the light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the reason why we have bathrooms in trains.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that.
Another unsung hero, Garrett Morgan.
Yeah.
Created the stoplight.
Yep.
And the gas mask.
Yep. And also, side note, because not to get off topic, but it is still what's on top. We have heroes right now making history
mm-hmm.
that don't get talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I don't care what nobody say, and I would love to speak with them one day. Well, with her one day. I would love to speak with Jessica Harris DuPont. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is?
No, why don't you school us on this?
If y'all don't know who this is, y'all know her as Judy, which is the Brat's wife,
mm-hmm.
who is the creator and the whole head honcho of Kaleidoscope hair care products. If y'all actually pay attention to this lady, I told you this. If you actually pay attention, like this is our modern day Madam C.J. Walker.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because she made millions from the ground up.
Yes, she revolutionized African American women's hair.
Mm.
I thought I would never see that in my lifetime. If that's somebody I will give, and I'm so passionate about this because it's like I feel like we don't see our heroes here as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we not talking about this? Like, yes, she makes excellent product, but to me, that is a modern day Madam C.J. Walker. And if she hear this right now, I pray that she reaches out because I would love to interview her, to pick her brain.
Yeah, we have modern day heroes right now walking among us. Heroes don't always wear cape, but whenever we see somebody who is a hero, we need to give them their flowers.
Yeah, even though they might not feel like they top tier or where they at right now. Like another example, my other modern day example would be the Dead Ass Podcast, right? Because that is a millennial African American married millennial couple that took an idea, a simple idea of taking shorts from Instagram. I remember when Instagram first came out, you only had 45 seconds to make a video or something like that.
I thought it was like 15.
15 minutes, whatever. In a short span of 15 seconds, DeVal Ellis took a camera and just decided, you know what? I want to show people, the world, that positive African American family dynamics can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And look where they at now.
Mm-hmm. And not just them, but also Kevin and Melissa Purchase.
Yes.
They show what it's like to be. You can be a Christian and not be. What's the word I'm looking for? You can be a Christian role model as a married couple.
Yeah. And be perfectly fine. That's what I'm saying. We have so many everyday heroes who I feel like they're part of Black history and that need to be uplifted, and we need to give them their flowers while they're here.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes Juneteenth one of the things that I like about you. Just black people just loving on each other.
Yes, black people just loving each other, and we get to show gratitude for those who came before us.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's why I love my shirt so much. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams because
we really are.
We really are. And not in a million years they would have thought we would experience our first African American president,
mm-hmm.
our first African American vice president, who happens to also be the first female vice president.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we are some awesome people.
The fact that we went to college, they never had the chance to even read. Now we're studying things from engineering to politics to neuroscience.
Yeah.
Everything that you can think
or
of.
Or even go back to a little closer to home. My grandmother, and I've said this before in the previous episode, my grandmother's only requirement was that her grandkids bring home a high school diploma because she never really got a chance to further her education like she wanted to.
And you did twice beyond that.
And I did twice beyond that.
Not only did you graduate from college, but you also got your master's.
Right. And when I first told my grandma that, like, hey, Granny, I'm going back to school. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm going back to school. She was like, you already got the diploma. What you going to do? I said, I want to further my education. I want to give me more opportunities. But we'll talk about that in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
But, give myself further opportunities. And when I told her, I said, I'm getting a master's in communication, she was just like speechless because she never thought that her grandkids would be able to have these opportunities to just go back to school because they wanted to. And she was hard on me about that too. All the way till she took her last breath, she always made sure, like, hey, did you do your homework? Like, do you have what you need? Like, before she passed, I would slow up on visiting her so much because we had internet here at the house. Mm-hmm. She didn't have internet at her house. So she was like, okay, I want to see you more. I don't care if we don't, talk or whatever like that. She just wanted my company. So I was like, well, Granny, I got to do homework. She was like, you know what? She actually ended up finding a program where she was going to get free internet in the house, mm-hmm. which provided her with a free laptop.
Ooh, nice.
Right? And she got my mama to help her out and stuff like that. And they was getting ready to ship it and stuff like that. But she ended up getting called to glory. So just her like finding ways to help me and further my education like that. Like, she didn't really understand she understood it was a big thing, but she never understood like in depth like what it meant to get a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
She was just happy that I wanted to go back to school and do something constructive.
Like I said, some heroes don't wear capes.
You're right.
Yeah, Juneteenth is. When I think about Juneteenth, I just think about how far we've come as a people. We go from picking cotton to picking presidents. We go from being slaves to being business owners. There's nothing that we as a people can't do.
And that's not to discredit, again, what has happened in the past. Like, it's still a battle. We're not saying everything easy.
But we're definitely farther than where
we were.
And Juneteenth signifies that.
It's like we finally have our own Independence Day where we can celebrate, like, popping fireworks and, dress up in colors. And one thing I will say, I love to see, the African American Panhellenic flag?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love to see that on cars.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot too, and it makes me want one.
Yeah.
I don't know where I put it in my car, but I want one.
Shoot, I know exactly where I put mine. I got a spot right here in this apartment to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It just gives us a chance to be proud of being a black person. And, even though maybe I'm probably stretching a little bit when I say this, but I think Juneteenth isn't just for blacks who live in America. Because, as we know, there were, blacks who were taken to other islands, blacks who were taken to other countries. Juneteenth is for them too.
Yeah, it's just an overall holiday we can just celebrate each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's good to see. It's good to see us as a people out there having picnics and togetherness and stuff like that.
It definitely is. And when I think of us, at these picnics and having the fun
And the
the parades and everything, it just shows that all the stereotypes that have been made about us, it just gives another layer on showing that it's untrue.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. I've been kind of stereotypical at work. I've been extra at work because they always look. Our counterparts can always be extra when it comes to other holidays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's crazy as it sounds. It's actually this week has been action packed because you have Father's Day
Mm-hmm.
the day before. So when this release, it will be actually the day of Juneteenth. Then so Juneteenth is Monday. The day before that, that's Father's Day, and then also you got Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrating.
Yeah, and it's not just about us black people, but everyone who's been marginalized, and
Yeah.
it's not right. The fact that it's been marginalization is not right, but
It just gives those who are the minority feel like the majority runs.
I wouldn't say the majority, but I would say it gives us something to definitely celebrate.
Feel like a majority. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I sit there and really rethink
I'm
it,
just saying,
you're
don't take away my word because you know that you felt that in your spirit. That was a word.
It was, and
Mm-hmm.
what I also want to know, and I'm pretty sure people don't know what the colors mean for Juneteenth.
I feel like you, Mr. Google, have the answer to that.
Yes, I do. First of all, the star on the Juneteenth flag means for the 50 states that have that no longer have slaves. So I think that's pretty huge. Red symbolizes. I'm trying to find it out because I did see it. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure it's like similar to the meaning to like the American flag, but of course it has different colors. So you have the 50 states, which no longer has slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got what, the red.
You have the red, and you have blue.
No, I'm talking about for the other flag, our flag.
Right. So I found it. The red and the white and the blue represents the American flag, a reminder that slaves and their descendants were and are Americans.
That's for
the
Juneteenth flag.
That's for the Juneteenth flag.
So wait a minute. So maybe I'm getting confused with the green, the black, and the
So
red.
what you're thinking about is the Pan African flag. Why?
Okay.
So that's technically unofficial, but I rather, if it's technically unofficial, I'd rather make it official. There's got to be some way to make that official flag for Pan Africans because obviously they've had Africans all over the world.
Yeah.
But for the Juneteenth flag, it's red, black, and white. So red and blue symbolize the fact that the descendants of slaves and slaves themselves are and still they were and are considered American. The star represents the 50 states that no longer have slavery. So that's what the flag stands for.
I learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. We, as a people, we definitely have something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Definitely have something to be proud of.
And you know what's crazy? It's just thinking about some of these celebration stuff that we have, the history behind it. Like we have Juneteenth, and then the whole thing that's been flown around about like the real meaning of Black Friday.
Yeah, so I actually found out the reason for the actual story about around Black Friday. So during the slavery period, Black Friday was when masters took their slaves to the market to be sold. So that's the reason behind Black Friday. And it's a lot of, when you look at certain things, there are some negative slavery connotations to it. We're not going to go into that, but
In a sense, maybe I'm presumptuous for thinking that, but it seems like the holidays, like such as Black Friday, where we know the slave relation to it. In a sense, it seems like our generation and the generation after us are in a sense taking that back and making it a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and you know what? There's a certain term for it. I can't remember the name of it, but I did see it. Ironically enough, it was on an episode of A Different World.
Yeah.
Where they were dealing with the mammy stereotype.
Yeah.
And I really wish that I could tell you what it was, but it's basically taking a negative trope and turning it into a positive. An example rather, is how we use the N word. Historically, the N word has been used against us as something that's negative.
Like an ignorant person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've taken it as a culture and we flipped it and made it something positive. So now, that just goes to show you, we as a people, we have the power and the wherewithal to make anything that's negative a positive.
Or be able to laugh through a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Because, man, we've been laughing through struggle for centuries.
Yeah. And also, when I think of Juneteenth, I think of like the Underground Railroad, the background with that. With Harriet Tubman, finding a secret passage to help slaves get free.
Mm-hmm.
Who would ever thought in a million years? Maybe she never thought in a million years we'll be having our own holiday, our own independence holiday.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said with the T-shirt that you had, that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Our ancestors laid the groundwork for everything that we've accomplished, and we definitely owe them a lot, because they made sacrifices that we never will be called to make. And Juneteenth is one of those, for lack of better words, is one of those things that show that their sacrifices paid off.
And it was long overdue.
Yeah, long overdue.
Long overdue.
And unfortunately, there still are some ignorant people out there who don't think that we should have Juneteenth. And we just got to keep on as a people. We got to keep on fighting. We got to keep on.
We just can't let what our ancestors before us did go in vain.
Yeah, it can't be for naught.
Right.
And I think, regardless of all the issues that we have as a people, because let's stop this stereotype right now. Black people are not the only people out here in the world with problems.
Everybody has problems.
Yep. Ours is just, for some reason, the world just likes to magnify ours.
Yeah.
But I think overall, our people, our ancestors rather, will be proud of all we've accomplished.
Yeah. And in a way, they probably get on our behinds for acting a fool at times.
Yeah.
But it's like the shirt I have on now, it says the revolution will be live.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Say that again. Your T-shirt says what?
The revolution will be live.
Okay, so your T-shirt says that the revolution will be live. Mine says melanin from the motherland. So definitely representing our culture, our people will, and I think that they will be proud of us, especially the fact that our ancestors never anticipated us having a podcast talking about how far we've come as a people and how successful we've been as a people.
And also continue to celebrate our everyday heroes.
Mm-hmm. And not forgetting our heroes that have passed the baton to us.
Yeah.
So at this point now in our lives, it's now becoming our duty to pass the baton to the next generation, saying, hey, you guys go further than what we did.
Yeah.
Because no matter how successful we become as a people, we still have to remember that the fight's not over.
And there's still work that need to be done.
Yeah, because...
And also preserve
our history.
Preserve our history and preserve those landmarks that we have. Like, it's a good thing that we have, like, places like the DuSable Museum, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Kansas City.
Also, the landmark we stumbled upon last summer just doing deliveries. Emmett Till and Mamie Till's home.
Yeah, childhood. Actually, that's less than a mile from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can't be complacent. As a people, we can't be complacent and feel like, oh, we made it, this, that, and the third. No.
And also, don't be afraid to be the change that's needed.
Mm-hmm. You know, it just goes to show you that those faithful words in the Black National Anthem are very important. Let us march on till victory is won.
Yeah. And on that note, Pumpkin, do you want to tell them where they can find us at?
You can find us at the You Stuck With Me Gmail at You Stuck With Me. So that's USTUCKWITME at gmail.com. You can find us at our Facebook page. That is You Stuck With Me on Facebook. And you can also find us on Instagram. That is our You Stuck With Me _podcast. So USTUCKWITME _podcast. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, mine _1 and 1NE, that _1, that is mine, and 1NE _1.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, that's Queen Points, that's PO1NTZ. Again, that's Queen Points, PO1NTZ. And I'm also on TikTok. You will find me on TikTok as Queen Points 22. Again, that's PO1NTZ, the number 22. Again, that is Queen Points, PO1NTZ, the number 22.
Also, you guys can send us sticky notes, send us to our email, send it to our Facebook. You can even send it to our Instagram. We would love to read them on air. And make sure you guys tell somebody about the podcast, tell your friends, tell your uncles, tell your mom, tell your pa.
Tell your ancestors about us. Let them know.
Yep, that we are doing something that is making them proud.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure that they would be.
Yep. So remember to like, rate, and subscribe. And also, you can find us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Go to youtube.com, type in You Stuck With Me podcast. Make sure you check in, watch the episodes. You'll never miss anything.
And also, you might find some behind the scenes stuff too. How I be getting on Marquis' nerves, low key.
Dun dun dun. Alright, so on that note, this is your boy Marquis.
And this is your one and your favorite Taylor.
And we see you guys next time on You Stuck With Me podcast.
Hey, come back.
You stuck with us.
You stuck. You stuck with me.
Peace out.
Peace.